Hey Zelda fans, Rick here. That's right, I've finally completed the definitive edition of Fantastic Armor and where to find it. For those of you that didn't get a chance to watch the first version of this video, this is a comprehensive guide to finding all of the armor in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. For your convenience, timestamps for all of the armor sets will be listed in the description and pinned comment below. Quick warning, this video will contain spoilers, so if you're new and still want a bit of a surprise, maybe think about tuning off now.
Bye!
Before we dip into the fun, if you find this guide helpful and enjoy Breath of the Wild content, hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the bell to be notified when I post a new video. Let's begin. All of the armor will be covered by region. To keep it straightforward, I'll start with the Great Plateau and work my way out. The first two pieces of armor you can find in Breath of the Wild are the old shirt and wool-worn trousers. Both of these can be found in chests just outside of the main chamber of the Shrine of Resurrection. The items share a base defense stat of 1 and sell for 15 rupees each. Next is the Nintendo Switch shirt. This item is but one of the bonuses for purchasing the expansion pass for Breath of the Wild. The shirt is located directly in front of the Bomb Trial Shrine on a stone wall in the Eastern Abbey. Let's not forget about the lone pair of Hylian trousers found near the Temple of Time in the Shrine of Nehru. Just wanted to point out the location though, as the trousers are in fact part of a complete set I'll cover later on in the video. Now for the warm doublet. This item is gifted to you by the old man, but it's your choice in which way. You could try your hand at making the old man's favorite meal. Make your way over to the old man's house in the far east of the Great Plateau. Here you'll find the old man wishing he could recall the last ingredients of his favorite dish, spicy meat and seafood fry. Collect the ingredients, raw meat, spicy peppers, and a Hylian bass, use a pot to cook the dish, present it to him, and collect the warm doublet in return. The second way to get the doublet is by simply traveling to the top of Mount Hylia. Once you've reached the top, you'll see the old man waiting to give you your reward. If you happen to have trouble making your way to the top, the recipe I mentioned before will help. The last free alternative is to just skip the previously mentioned steps, complete the entire Great Plateau, and then return to the old man's house after obtaining the paraglider. Once you've done so, you'll be greeted with a chest sitting inside the house along with a new passage in the old man's diary. With the warm doublet's added cold resistance, I'd say this one is an essential piece of armor for the beginning of anyone's playthrough. If you happen to sell the doublet or miss any of the above referenced methods, the doublet can also be purchased in both Hateno Village and Terrytown. Moving off the Great Plateau, we come to the armor located in the Dueling Peaks region. The first piece of armor to cover here is the Champion's Tunic. This chest armor comes with a base defense stat of 5, which can later be upgraded to 32. And comes with the special ability allowing the player to see enemies' HP. The Champion's Tunic can be obtained by completing the first portion of the quest, Captured Memories, which consists of finding one of Link's lost memories and then returning to Impa. In case you run into trouble locating a memory, one can be found very close to the Great Plateau. Teleport back over to the Shrine of Omanau, jump off the Great Plateau, and go to the west shores of Lake Kolimo. Play the memory sequence, then fast travel back to Kakariko Village. Speak with Impa about the memory, and collect the Champion's Tunic. Seeing as we're already in Kakariko, you can find the stealth set here. The stealth mask, chest guard, and trousers can all be purchased in the local shop for 1800 rupees total. All three parts of the armor collectively increase your stealth stat, and when they're upgraded to level 2, the set grants a night speed up bonus, which is a rather useful perk to have. Do you recall the Hylian trousers I mentioned earlier? The rest of the set can be found in the same armor shop. While you're in there, make sure to grab both the Hylian hood and chest guard. Please, if you haven't, go back to the plateau and grab the trousers. No sense in paying a full 270 rupees for the set when you could save 90 rupees on the trousers and only pay 180. Finally, when upgraded, each of these has a rather high defense stat of 20, giving the complete set 60 points in defense with no added bonus. The Hateno region holds the next essential pieces of armor. Stopping in at the local armor shop, you can easily pick up the aforementioned Hylian set as well as the warm doublet. Though the one set you'll want from this specific shop is a Soldier's Armor, which boasts one of the highest defense stats in the game. For most of you that are following the main storyline, Hateno Village will be one of those beginning stops along your journey, so don't miss out on the Soldier's Armor. It can truly save your hide in intense combat situations, especially in Master Mode. Just make sure to stock up on your rupees beforehand, because complete it will end up costing you 630 rupees. Upgrades and defense improvements sold separately. Coming out of the armor shop in this region, you can find the Climber set. The gear can be found in 3 separate shrines between the Dueling Peaks and Necluda Sea. The Climber's bandana in the Ri Dahi Shrine, the climbing gear in the Cha's Quetta Shrine, and the climbing boots in the Ta no Oa Shrine. The Climber set is a must-have for this game as you'll be spending a vast majority of your time climbing various surfaces around Hyrule. At base, each part of the armor increases your climbing speed, and when upgraded to level 2, the set bonus gives you climb jump stamina up, reducing stamina consumption when jumping while climbing. As I stated in the last video, Breath of the Wild is a massive climbing simulator, so anything that improves your ability to do so is an important part of your inventory. Do yourself a favor and make certain to pick up all 3 pieces of the Climber's gear. Our journey now brings us to the Lanayru region, home to the brilliant Zora set. The chess piece can be found by talking to King Dorphan in Zora's domain and acquiring the quest Divine Beast Va Ruda. The Greaves can be obtained by completing the quest Lionel Safari. And seeing as you'll have to make your way up to Ploymus Mountain anyways to collect the shock arrows for the main story, I recommend grabbing this quest before proceeding any further. Start by speaking to La Flat, who can be found standing to the right of the staircase leading to the throne room. She'll then give you the quest Lionel Safari, where you have to take a picture of the red Lionel terrorizing Ploymus Mountain. Scale the mountain, collect your arrows, and snap a selfie with the Lionel before returning the picture to La Flat in exchange for the Zora Greaves. The last one is a Zora Helm, which is located in a chest beneath Toto Lake. I've left a pin on the map above for reference, and for anyone struggling, here's a clip of the exact location of the chest. With the Zora set in hand, here's the breakdown. Each of these increases your swimming speed. The helm gives you the unique ability to spin attack while in the water, and the chest armor allows you to swim up waterfalls. After the full set is upgraded to level 2, it grants a bonus of swim dash stamina up, which decreases the amount of stamina used while dashing in the water. The Akkala region is our next destination. We have a lot to cover in this area, so please bear with me. Be aware that some of the items in this area can't be accessed until after you've completed all 4 Divine Beasts. With that in mind, 2 armor sets are located here, including several individual pieces. I'll go over the Ancient Armor set to begin. Travel to the far northeast portion of Akkala, where you'll discover the Akkala Ancient Tech Lab. Speak to the lead scientist of the lab, Ravio. Just like with Hateno Ancient Tech Lab, Ravio needs the blue flame brought back up to his furnace in order to get his creation, the Ancient Oven, aka Cherry, back in working order. Make your way down the hill and back up to the lab with the blue flame to light the furnace, and you'll gain access to the Ancient Oven. This will give you the ability to use Guardian parts to create various different ancient weapons. However, what we're gunning for here is the Ancient Armor. Each part costs 2,000 rupees, coming in at a total of 6,000. As if that's not enough, you'll also need to collect multiple Guardian parts to craft them. The Ancient Helm requiring 20 Ancient Gears, 5 Ancient Shafts, and 3 Ancient Cores. The Ancient Chest Piece costs 20 Ancient Gears, 5 Ancient Screws, and 3 Ancient Cores. Last, the Ancient Greaves runs 20 Ancient Gears, 5 Ancient Springs, and 3 Ancient Cores. Each of these increases your resistance against Guardians, and when upgraded to level 2, gives a set bonus of Ancient Proficiency, which increases the attack power of both Guardian and Ancient weapons. On to tackling our homie Kilton. To unlock the armor sold in Kilton's shop, you'll first need to speak with him at Skull Lake. As an extra, snatch the quest A Shady Customer. Speak with Hawes, who can be found patrolling the East Akala stable. Apparently, Kilton's shop has drummed up some rumors, causing Hawes to grow rather suspicious of Kilton, asking you to snag him a photo. After getting the quest, wait until dark and then head to the left eye of Skull Lake, where you'll find the monster lever. Make sure to snap a selfie with Kilton for the quest and then speak with him about the grand opening of his shop, the Fang and Bone. To finish up the quest, take the photo back to Hawes to get a silver rupee. The main thing here is that by talking to Kilton, you've now unlocked access to the Fang and Bone. Kilton will now appear on the outskirts of every major town between the hours of 8 PM and 4 AM. Travel to Hateno Village or one of your choice between these hours. Talk with Kilton again, and he'll tell you all about his made-up currency called Mon. This currency can be used to purchase items from Kilton's store and can be gathered by trading in monster parts you picked up along your way. Turn in as many monster parts as you can to buy all of the armor in Kilton's inventory. Make a mental note that if you happen to gain access to Kilton's shop too early, you'll be limited to certain items. As you progress with the story, the rest of his inventory will slowly be unlocked. Let's start by covering the masks. The Bokoblin, Moblin, Lizalfos, and Lionel masks all give you the ability to fool enemies into thinking you're one of them. Though the Lionel mask doesn't work all that well. The armor set that you can get from Kilton is the Dark Link outfit. It can be purchased for 3,997 Mon. When worn as a set, Dark Link's outfit gives you a speed bonus at night. Other than that, this armor is only for looks and can't be upgraded like the other tunics. Now that we've covered Akala, let's head to the Elden region. This is home to the Flamebreaker set, which allows the player to withstand the intense heat of Death Mountain. The full set of armor can be purchased from Ripped and Shredded for 3,300 rupees. However, you can snag the Flamebreaker chest armor for free by completing the quest Fireproof Lizard Roundup on your way to Goron City by talking to an NPC named Kima. For those needing help getting to Goron City due to the heat, you'll first need to get your hands on a fireproof elixir. You can either cook a couple up by collecting a few fireproof lizards near Lake Verona, or you can purchase one at the Foothill Stable from an NPC named Gale for 60 rupees. Once you're protected, you can then make your way to the Southern Mine, where you'll find Kima. Take the quest, which will have you search for 10 fireproof lizards. There are plenty in the general vicinity, so it shouldn't take you very long. With that done, turn in the quest to get the Flamebreaker Armor, saving yourself 600 rupees. From there, equip the chest piece and make the rest of the trek to Goron City to purchase the Flamebreaker Helm and Flamebreaker Boots from Ripped and Shredded. Each of these gives you a Flame Guard bonus, and when upgraded to level 2, makes you completely fireproof. On to the Tabantha region. The armor found here is the Snowquill set. You can purchase all 3 parts in Rito Village at the Brazen Beak for 2,150 rupees. Each part of the Snowquill set adds to your cold resistance, and when upgraded to level 2 makes you unfreezable. All in all, this set is invaluable when it comes to traveling through the frigid climates Hyrule has to offer. Out of the cold weather of northwestern Hyrule and into the dry Gerudo Desert. We have quite a lot to cover here, including single pieces of armor and full sets, so I'll begin by covering the easy ones first. The Gerudo Vai Outfit is the first one you'll need to get, as it's required to gain access into Gerudo Town. Once again, this is another main quest outfit, so you shouldn't miss it along the way. Once you arrive in Gerudo Desert, head to the Desert Oasis and talk to a traveling merchant named Robston, who will tell you that his boss went to Gerudo Town to try to find a way in to sell their goods. You know the cue. Run over to Gerudo Town's front entrance to speak to Benja, Robston's boss, about sneaking into Gerudo Town. Benja will tell you of a rumor floating around of a man that was able to get past the guards by dressing as a woman. This conversation will then trigger Vilya to spawn atop the Karakara Bazaar back at the Desert Oasis. Go all the way back to the Oasis, scale the bazaar, and speak to Vilya to purchase the Gerudo Vai set for 600 rupees. When worn together, you'll be able to enter Gerudo Town with ease, and the set also comes with the ever so useful bonus of heat resistance, which helps tremendously when exploring Gerudo Desert. Before we enter town, both the sand boots and snow boots can be found just outside the walls. The boots can be obtained by completing the 2 quests Bozai has to offer. Using your newly found powers of persuasion with the Gerudo Vai set, speak with Bozai, who can be found jogging just outside of Gerudo Town in the sand boots. Demand the very boots off his feet, and he'll instead give you a pair of snow boots along with the quest The 8th Heroine. For this quest, you'll need to take a picture of a statue rumored to exist to the northwest of Gerudo Summit in the Gerudo Highlands. Using the new snow boots Bozai lent you, make the journey to the location shown on the map above and take a picture of the statue. To make your life a heck of a lot easier, before you teleport back to Gerudo Town, head to the top of Gerudo Summit and take a picture of the Forgotten Sword, which just so happens to be the next quest Bozai will give you, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Once you go back to Gerudo Town, throw the Vai set back on, speak with Bozai, and turn in the first picture. He'll cough up the sand boots, but not before asking for the snow boots back. After that, Bozai will then appear under a tent to the left of Gerudo Town's entrance. Talk to him once more and pick up the quest The Forgotten Sword. Since you saved yourself some time by taking the picture early, you'll be able to simply speak with Bozai again, and in return he'll give you the snow boots. The perks for both of these are rather obvious, but for what it's worth, they can be upgraded for added defense while wearing them. With that done, we can now enter Gerudo Town. Here you can find the Gerudo Vai set sold at Fashion Passion, but if you head around back, you can unlock the Gerudo Secret Club. In the shop you can purchase clothing meant for Voes, which is strictly forbidden. Both the Desert Voe set of armor and the Radiant set can be purchased from this shop. To unlock the Gerudo Secret Club, knock on the locked door behind Fashion Passion. You'll be asked for a password. You can either take on the quest the normal way or skip to the password. For the sake of those who would like to do it normally, go over to the Noble Canteen and eavesdrop on the conversation of these 3 NPCs. Of course, they won't blurt out the password right in front of you, so you'll need to make your way next door just below the canteen to get the scoop. The password is GSC Diamond. Now that you have access to the shop, you can grab both the previously mentioned sets of armor. The Desert Voe set comes in at 2400 rupees, and each part gives the player heat resistance, granting a mid-range heat resistance altogether. When the full set is upgraded to level 2, it will grant you with shock damage resist, which doesn't do much. The Radiant set comes in at 2400 rupees and 9 luminous stones. Due to it being created using luminous stones, it glows in the dark and can even lure in stall monsters. After upgrading all of the armor to level 2, you can use it as a disguise around stall enemies, and it increases the damage output of bone type weapons. Last for the Gerudo region, we have the Thunder Helm and all of the jewelry found in the Starlight Memories jewelry shop. These will be included together due to having to complete a side quest attached to the Thunder Helm. Once you've cleared Divine Beast Vanaboris, make your way back to the throne room in Gerudo Town and interact with the Thunder Helm. Riju will then give you the quest The Thunder Helm, which consists of finishing up the remainder of the side quests in Gerudo Town. Go around the town, gather and complete the following quests: Tools of the Trade, Medicinal Molduga, Mystery Polluter, and the Search for Barda. Beginning with the quest Tools of the Trade, speak with an NPC named Isha who can be found just outside of the closed jewelry shop near the front entrance. Isha will then tell you that in order to get her shop back up and running, she needs 10 pieces of flint. Offer her the flint she needs to complete the quest and she'll reward you with your choice of a ruby circlet, a sapphire circlet, or topaz earrings. After you've selected one of the 3, you'll then have full access to Starlight Memories. To save time, below are the stats of all of the jewelry, as well as the alternate location for the diamond circlet, just in case you'd rather save your rupees on that one. Okay, now time to cover the other 3 quests tied to the Thunder Helm. Next is Medicinal Molduga. The quest can be obtained near the west corner of Gerudo Town where the guards train. Speak to a Gerudo soldier named Milena to initiate the quest. Unfortunately, her husband has fallen ill and she requires Molduga guts to save him. For the quickest Molduga fight, I recommend traveling to Taruma Dunes, which is very close to Gerudo Town. After you've slain the beast and collected its parts, go back to Milena to give her the monster part she needs, rewarding you with a rather generous gold rupee. With that finished up, move on to Mystery Polluter. Speak with an NPC named Dahlia who can be found in the north side of town. She'll give you the quest Mystery Polluter. Now go back to the southwest corner of town and find an NPC tossing melons into the waterway. Caliban will explain that she won't stop tossing melons into the waterway until you bring her 10 wild berries. The closest location to find 10 wild berries is the Gerudo Highlands. I placed a marker on the map above where I easily found all 10. Once you've gathered all the berries, take them back to Caliban to get her to stop polluting the water supply. To finish, speak with Dahlia once more to receive a hydro melon in return. The very last quest to take on is the search for Barda. Go back to the courtyard where the Gerudo soldiers train and talk to Liana. Sadly, Barda has lost her way in the desert and has become severely dehydrated, so it's your job to bring her a hardy durian. If you don't have one in your inventory, make sure to grab one at the local shop before leaving town. With the durian in hand, make the long trek to the Gerudo Great Skeleton shown on the map above. Here you'll find Barda on the verge of collapsing. Give her the hardy durian and then head back to the courtyard to turn in the quest to Liana, who will reward you with the silver rupee for your efforts. Now that Gerudo Town is back to normal, it's time to ask for the Thunderhelm one more time. Go back and talk to Riju to obtain the Thunderhelm, which will allow you to channel a small portion of the Gerudo champion Urbosa, making you completely lightning proof. Boy, was that a lot to cover. However, we still aren't done with the base game yet. There are in fact still 3 armor sets that can be found in Hyrule, plus the amiibo armor and Xenoblade set. I'll kick this portion of the video off with the rubber armor. The helm can be gathered through the side quest Thunder Magnet, which is given to you by Seema at the Lakeside Stable. The whole point of the quest is to figure out why lightning always seems to strike the stable during a storm. Simply climb to the top of the stable where you'll find a woodcutter's axe which has been acting as a lightning rod this entire time. Pull the axe from the horse's head and talk with Seema once more to receive the rubber helm. Following it with the rubber armor, this one can be found in the To Yasa Shrine, located close to Ridgeland Tower. The rubber tights can be found in the Kwakanada Shrine near Pharaon Tower. Each of these items gives the player shock resistance, and when upgraded to level 2 makes you unshockable, similar to the Thunderhelm. The next set is the Barbarian Armor. Each part of the set can be found in the 3 Lomai Labyrinths in Hyrule. The Barbarian Helm is located in the Tukalo Shrine, the Barbarian chest piece can be found in the Dilamog Shrine, and the final part of the set, the Barbarian leg wraps, can be uncovered in the Kwaza Toki Shrine. Each of these increases the player's damage output, and when upgraded, the armor grants you with a bonus that reduces the amount of stamina required to perform a charge attack in combat. The final base game armor is the Of the Wild set. The cap, tunic, and trousers of the Wild can only be unlocked after completing all 120 shrines scattered throughout Hyrule. While the set only increases the damage of the Master Sword's beam, it gives you a sense of satisfaction being rewarded with the green tunic made for this title. I won't be covering all 120 shrines here, but for reference, here's a shot of the completed map. With the base game done, we can carry on to the extra content. Be aware that this is when your inventory will start to get a bit messy. You see, Breath of the Wild only offers 100 armor slots, and with the addition of the DLC, the amount of armor in the game goes beyond that at 107 pieces of armor total. Just keep that in mind when you decide to sell off a set or two. Starting off with all of the heroes' tunics. Each of these gives off the same exact effect as the Tunic of the Wild, but they are an awesome addition to the game nonetheless. To get access to all of the available sets, you'll either need to have purchased the corresponding amiibo or a set of NFC cards. I've left a link to a set of NFC cards I purchased off Amazon in the description below. Using the Sheik Super Smash Bros. Amiibo gives you the Sheik Mask, which increases your ability to sneak while also making you look like a badass. Speaking of looking like a badass, let's talk about the Majora's Mask Link Amiibo, which will give you the Fierce Deity set, granting you the same stats as the previously mentioned Barbarian Armor, while also letting you masquerade as one of the coolest characters in the series. The amiibo section comes to a close with the Champion amiibo. The Mifa, Ravioli, Urbosa, and Daruk amiibo each contain an ancient helm representing their respective divine beast. Mifa offering Va Divine Helm, increasing your swimming speed when worn. Ravioli's amiibo coughs up Va Meadow's Divine Helm, granting you cold resistance. Urbosa's comes with Va Naboris's Divine Helm, slapping on a bit of shock resistance to the ancient set. And Daruk's amiibo is accompanied by Va Rudania's Divine Helm, which gives you a level 1 Flame Guard. Time to cover a rather out-of-place armor set. And no, I'm not talking about the Switch shirt again. Back on November 9th of 2017, as a way to promote the upcoming Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Nintendo pushed out a free update to Breath of the Wild containing the Salvager set from Xenoblade. Funny enough, this update also added support for the aforementioned Champion amiibo. To start up the quest, you'll first need to make sure your copy of Breath of the Wild is fully up to date. At the time of this update's release, Breath's version number was 1.3.3, but we've had a number of updates since then, so yours should read version 1.6.0 at the bottom of the title screen. If you just picked up the game and have yet to update it, head over to the Switch main menu and press the plus button while hovering over Breath of the Wild. Now navigate down to Software Update, confirm the selection, download, install, and you should be good to go. Now load into your save file and you'll be prompted with a message indicating that the quest Xenoblade Chronicles 2 has been added to your adventure log. The log will inform you that in order to find all 3 pieces of the Salvager set, you'll need to find 3 red shooting stars in Hyrule. Their locations are as followed. The southern sky from the middle of the largest bridge, meaning Lake Hylia. The eastern sky from the skull's left eye, describing Skull Lake. And the southeastern sky from the peak of the tall pierced snowy mountain, referring to Heber Peak. The first of the bunch, the Salvager headwear, can be found looking south into the night sky from the middle of the Great Bridge of Hylia. Assuming you've done it correctly, you'll see a shooting star containing the headwear touchdown near the south entrance to the bridge. Now for the Salvager vest. This one can be found near Skull Lake by teleporting to the right eye of the skull and looking east. Wait a moment and you should see the shooting star. Make your way over to the chest and nab that vest. Wrapping it up, we have the Salvager trousers, which can be found by looking southeast from the top of Heber Peak. Just like with the last two, after reaching the top you'll shortly be greeted by another shooting star, which holds the final piece of the set of armor. With the Salvager set in your inventory, here's the deets on it. Complete, the armor comes with a base defense of 15. Each part of the set increases your swimming speed, and when worn together grants you with the bonus Swim-Stamina Up. Sadly, this armor cannot be upgraded. Praise Hylia, we're done with all of the base game and amiibo armor. The time has come to jump into DLC Pack 1 and 2. These items are included in the Expansion Pass for Breath of the Wild, which contains the Expansion Pass bonus DLC Pack 1 and 2. We'll commence the festivities by nabbing the armor in DLC Pack 1. After you've purchased the Expansion Pass and downloaded everything, boot into your save file, and shortly after you'll be prompted with a notification telling you that the following quests have been added to your adventure log. EX Treasure, Ancient Mask, Phantasma, Fairy Clothes, Twilight Relic, and EX Strange Mask Rumors. Starting out with the set of EX Treasure quests, you'll first need to stop by the Outpost Ruins. At this location you'll find Misko's EX Journal, which will leave hints to the location of Majora's Mask, the Phantom Set, Tingle's outfit, and Midna's helmet. Majora's Mask is located on the south side of the main building of Kolamo Garrison Ruins. If you're having trouble spotting any of these chests, use Magnesis and you shouldn't miss them. The Phantom Set is scattered in 3 different locations across Hyrule Field. The helmet is hidden on the ground floor of the Colosseum Ruins, marker above for the exact location of the chest. The chest armor can be found in the first inner ring of the Sacred Ground Ruins. Just make sure to keep an eye on all the guardians surrounding the area. The final part of the set to find is the Phantom Greaves, which are buried near the southeast corner of Hyrule Garrison Ruins, a few steps away from a downed guardian. Tingle's outfit is another set that's scattered about Hyrule Field, so let's go over the locations. Tingle's hood is tucked under a pile of debris at the Exchange Ruins. His shirt is appropriately located at Castletown Prison, marker above. And Tingle's tights are in Mabe Village Ruins. The last of Misko's EXC treasures for DLC 1 is Midna's helmet. This piece of headgear can be acquired at the Sage Temple ruins. Moving on from Misko's treasures, we can start Strange Mask Rumors, which is a crazy Tracy side quest. To start the quest, travel to the Woodland Stable where you'll find EX Super Rumor Mill Volume 1. The clue given in the book alludes to the fact that the Korok Mask can be found in the Lost Woods. Enter the Lost Woods and pass by the first set of braziers like normal until you reach the checkpoint shown above. From here, activate Magnesis and move southwest from the braziers to the point marked above. Once there, you'll see a tree with a chest in its mouth containing the Korok Mask. That's all of the armor in Pack 1, let's continue on to DLC Pack 2, the Champion's Ballad. Similar to Pack 1, DLC 2 comes with 3 individual pieces of armor in 2 full sets. Leading it off with a crazy Tracy side quest, begin with EX Royal Guard Rumors by reading EX Super Rumor Mill Volume 4, which can be found at the Riverside Stable. After getting the quest, travel over to Hyrule Castle where all 3 parts of the armor can be found. The Royal Guard's cap in the room above Hyrule Castle Sanctum, the uniform behind a bombable wall between the armory and the dining hall, and the Royal Guard's boots are snuggled up on a shelf in the guard's chambers. The end is nigh. Let's complete this thing with the last round of Misko's treasure quests. His second journal can be found in a dilapidated house in the Dea Village ruins. Read over the journal and collect the EX treasure quests, Merchant's Hood, Garb of Winds, Usurper King, and Dark Armor. Finding Ravio's hood is pretty easy. Teleport to the Spring of Courage and look under the right hand of the dragon, and you'll have yourself the Merchant's Hood. The Lobster Shirt is another fairly simple piece of armor to find. Teleport over to the Lake Tower and jump down to Korra Lake. Use Cryonis to raise an ice block and then use Magnesis to reveal the chest beneath the water. The helm of the self-proclaimed King of Shadows is in the swamp of the Valley of the Dead Trees, south of Dueling Peaks. This is referring to Tobio's Hollow due south of Dueling Peaks. You'll find the chest buried between 2 dead trees. And last, the final set of armor you can obtain in Breath of the Wild is the Phantom Ganon set, which is surprisingly scattered across the Faron province. Phantom Ganon's skull is at the bottom of the highest of the 3 waterfalls north of Lake Floria. To find it, travel to Lake Korta, which is northeast of Faron Tower. Just like with the others, use Magnesis to reveal the chest. Next, Phantom Ganon's armor is located in the Floria River at the bridge between the small waterfalls. The bridge this hint is referring to is Sargon Bridge. Exact location of the chest marked above. Phantom Ganon's greaves brings us to a close. These can be picked up near the Broken Stone Bird of Ibarra Forest. Head to the east shore of Lake Floria where you'll see 3 large bird statues, and hidden beneath one of them is the Phantom Ganon greaves. And that's it. You should now have access to every single set of armor in Breath of the Wild. To round it off, if you ever sell certain pieces of armor, you can always make a visit to Garante in Terrytown to repurchase them for an exorbitant fee. For upgrading your armor, visit the 4 fairy fountains in Hyrule. I've left markers on the map above and numbered them so you'll know which ones to visit first. Before I leave you, I want to say thank you. Your continued support during this project has helped keep me motivated on the task at hand. I want to also give a massive shout out to my channel members too. Can't forget about you peeps, the literal backbone of this here channel. Anyhow, enough with the sappy stuff. If this guide helped you out, tap that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay up to date with my Zelda uploads. Breath of the Wild 2 is coming, meaning I have plenty of content to fill the schedule with. Once again, thank you for tuning in for another Breath of the Wild video. Peace out.